Today I'd like to read you some biographies, some lore on some League of Legends champions. This is inspired by Yumota Cannon. I watched his recent live stream and he read some lore for different champions, and I found it very interesting and relaxing. So I thought, why not try the same? So I thought I'd start out with my favourite champion at the moment. My favourite champion of all time will always be Yumi. There will never be a time when I'm not wanting to be a flying cat. But at the moment I'm playing a lot of Lulu. So tonight I'm going to read you the biography for Lulu. I really don't know much about League of Legends lore, beyond the fact that beyond the idea that there are different places the champions come from, and that's really it. So I'm interested to find out more, and hopefully you might find it interesting too. So let's go. So I'm going to open up the Lulu biography here. I'll preface this by saying my reading out loud has never been good. So let's look at Lulu, the Fey Sorceress. I feel like I've already said that wrong, but that's okay. Okay, let's have a look. Lulu was always a caring and deeply empathetic Yordle who lived as much in her whimsical daydreams as in reality. One day, while wandering the material realm, she came upon what happened to be a bird with a broken wing. She ran to help, at which point the bird turned into a tiny mischievous fey spirit. Before she could react, the fairy grabbed her walking stick and took off. Giggling, Lulu gave chase. The spirit led her far into the forest. They went over boulders, under logs, and around ancient, overgrown stone circles. The fairy darted into a cave hidden behind a waterfall, and Lulu went after it. It flitted ahead, always just out of reach. Down and down they went. Lulu tumbled and scrambled around twisted roots and glowing mushrooms, and at some point they crossed over into the spirit realm without her realizing it. Their surroundings became progressively stranger and more disorientating. Up became down, forward became backward, and big became small. It sounds like Alice in Wonderland. That's the first thing I thought of when she said that she tumbled. I just thought of Alice in Wonderland when she fell into the rabbit hole, going down and down. I'm not sure if it's in the books or the film where Alice goes down and there's things flying around her, and then obviously she lands and she's tiny, and then she's given the cake to become bigger. That's what I thought. Maybe that was what inspired Lulu's story. Sorry, we'll carry on. Finally, after what seemed like forever, Lulu caught up with a fairy, whose name she discovered was Pix. With a click of his tiny fingers, Pix turned her humble walking stick into a spiraling staff and tossed it back to her. It sprouted leaves and flowers, making Lulu gasp in delight. So began their forever friendship, built on mischief, fun, and love of nature. Pix led her to the glade, Bandle City, Lulu's home, was a bizarre and magical place that defied logic, where time was meaningless and the natural laws of the material realm did not wholly apply, and yet the glade was a stranger place still. It existed long before yordles came into the world, and it was perhaps from the glade that Bandle City itself sprung. A place of raw, primordial magic. It was hidden away so deeply that no yordle had ever found it, until now. Here, Lulu's own magic became wildly magnified. Laughing joyfully, she discovered she could not reshape her surroundings at will, as well as... Oh, sorry, I think I read it wrong. She could reshape her surroundings at will. I didn't think that made any sense. As well as alter her form to whatever she wanted. Anything and everything from her overactive imagination came to life. Lily didn't know if Pix had brought her here because she saw in her a kindred soul and simply wanted someone to play with, or if the glade needed her for some other purpose, but she fell in love with it instantly. Her life became one of endless creation and play, and she soon forgot anything else existed. When finally she remembered, it was like waking from a dream. She found herself back in the material realm, not knowing if a single day had passed or 1,000 years. To her surprise and joy, she found that some of her newfound power had come with her, allowing her to make small things large, change colours to those more pleasing to her, and cause creatures to fall spontaneously asleep. To Pix's endless amusement, she turned the mightiest beasts into tiny, bewildered frogs or squirrels with a flick of her staff. That makes sense when she polymorphs. Wow. Nevertheless, she began to miss the glade. She decided to go back, but realized she didn't remember the way. Pix was no help, claiming to have forgotten as well, though it was possible he just didn't want to return quite yet. Unperturbed, Lulu set out anyway. She was certain the route back to the glade was always shifting, making one way as good as another. She simply picked whatever direction took her fancy at any particular moment, and even threw herself into seemingly terrible danger whenever it looked fun. Her travels took her far and wide, and magic, mayhem, and mishap tended to follow wherever she went. Let me just get my breath, sorry. Okay. In Demacia, she freed a group of children from their boring history lessons and led them off into a nearby meadow. That doesn't sound like a good idea. That sounds like she helped children skip school. But I agree, history lessons for me were also boring. I enjoy history now, but not at school. Sorry. Her game resulted in them being turned into toadstools for a full turn of the moon. Oh no. While their desperate parents and the local militia, is that militia? M-I-L-I-T-I-A, militia, searched for them in vain. It wasn't quite what Lulu had intended, but fun nevertheless. Doesn't sound like everyone else found it fun. When the children finally returned home and told everyone what happened, no one believed them. No kidding. Reminds me of that story of all the children that went on a ship and reported seeing lights under the water, which they thought was some kind of UFO. would no one believe them? Maybe because they're children, people tell their stories. Okay. In the border. Oh, sorry, let me just not whisper. I'm not quite sure what's better yet. The self-speaking or whispering. In the In the borderlands of the Freljord, Lulu thought it would be hilarious to change the weapons of two rival tribes into flowers just as they clashed, which resulted in absolute chaos and confusion. I love that. I just love how innocently fun Lulu finds all these things. More recently, she has found herself happily lost in Ionia, playing in the glowing ever blossoms of I can't say this. Quailin? I think that actually might be right. Ever glowing blossoms. Nope. Ever glowing. Nope. I'll try again. Oh dear. Glowing ever blooms of Quailin, and playing pranks on bewildered acolytes. Let me start this sentence again, maybe it'll make more sense. More recently, she has found herself happily lost in Ionia, playing in the glowing everblooms of Quailin, and playing pranks on bewildered acolytes in the Order of the Shadow, who she thinks are far too serious for their own good. Hopefully that made sense. While Lulu seeks to return to the glade and misses it, she is happy for every day brings more opportunity for adventure and fun. And besides, she has come to realize that she carries a part of the glade in her heart wherever she goes. Wow, I think that's it. And then they have a little summary of her. It says, the Yordle Mage Lulu is known for conjuring dreamlike illusions and fanciful creatures as she roams Runeterra with her fairy companion pigs. That makes more sense. Lulu shapes reality on a whim, warping the fabric of the world and what she views as the constraints of this mundane physical realm. While others might consider her magic to be at best unnatural and at worst dangerous, she believes everyone could use a touch of enchantment. I love it. Oh, and then they have a quote. The best path between 2 points is upside down, between, then inside out, and around again. That one I don't understand as much. That was really interesting. I genuinely enjoyed that. It wasn't a particularly long video, but I think I should do them one at a time, so I can do each champion at a time. I think I would find that easier. I did also think maybe I could do another Yordle, for example Vigar or Ziggs, maybe Poppy. I find I would just like the Yordles. I hope this was also interesting in some way to you as well. If you enjoyed it, please let me know, and if you have any suggestions of other champions, please do also let me know. And if you have any feedback on whether soft-speaking or whispering is better, please also let me know, because I'm not sure. Thank you so much for watching. Please take care, and I hope to see you again soon.